Hi and welcome to the Unrealircd tutorial. Here we're going to show you how to set up Unrealircd and get you connected. So first of all you need to download the Unrealircd. You can either do this from our forum website at uhackit.net. Here you'll also be able to find a written tutorial on this setup. Okay, so let's get started. First of all we need to install Unrealircd. This is very fast, only takes a few clicks. Accept the agreement, click next. Now this is the standard installation folder and we're going to continue to use that. So we'll click next and click next. Now on this section we need to install this as a service. Here you have two options. You can start Unrealircd when Windows starts or start Unrealircd on request. So for this tutorial we're going to start on request, although it is advised to start on Windows starts. Okay, now as you can see, when it finishes installing, you get a few options. So we've got View Example, View Unreal, View Release and View Changes. Now the only one we're really interested in and the only one we're going to change is the viewexample.config. So we'll get started on that. Now we just need to change a few things on this. First of all, we need to change its modules. Now here we're telling Unrealircd what modules it needs to load in order to run the program. So at the moment we're setting up on Windows. This option here is for if you're setting up on Linux. So we want to load the module the commands.dll and cloak.dll. Now to do this, just take the two forward strokes away on both lines and that's done. Unrealircd, when reading this file, will now read them and know to load them. Now the next block we have is the me block. Now the me block basically does exactly what it says on the tin. You've got the name of the server and some information regarding the server. Now these aren't actually important and don't play much of a role other than actually just telling the user that's connecting to the site when they type the information command that this is what the name is and this is a description of the server. So we don't really need to bother with this, so we're going to leave that blank. Again we have another block. This is the admin block. Again this isn't of real much use. This is basically when a user connects to your IRCD channel. If they type /admin, this information will come up. Right, now the next block that we have is the operator block. Now this is important. This is going to define your parameters to gaining admin access when you're actually on your IRCD server. So for this tutorial we're just going to change the operator name to test. Now this is the first part of the operator command, which you'll understand more later. Now the user host, we're going to use wildcards here. This basically means that it's not going to check to verify our IP or host. It will just automatically assume that if we've entered the correct username and password, that all is safe and it will admin us up. So we're going to change the password here to test1. Always make sure when you're changing these particular parameters not to remove the hash marks on either side. This is important. Okay, next we're going to go to the listen command. Now a few things we have here. This is the SSL client and this part here is where the server connects to. Now for this tutorial we're not actually going to use the SSL client, so we can quite simply get rid of all of that. So we'll cut that away and we're left with just the two listen parameters. Now as you can see, they have standard ports 8067 and 6667. Now you can change these, but these are pretty standard and they are advised to be left. But as I say, you can change them from any port number from 1 up to 6500. So you have got a wide variety. So as you can see in front, behind the port numbers, we have a wildcard. So we're going to change this to the IP address of which the Unrealircd is on. In this case, that's 213.155.85.155. We're just going to copy and that paste, and paste that here as well, so that both of our parameters are the same. Okay, that's everything that you need to know for the time being. Now we'll go to the top. You will see on this line here, this is where we need to save this file, and this is what we need to call it. So it's called unrealircd.config, so we'll copy that, and we need to save this in the main Unrealircd directory, so we'll copy that here. So we'll just go to File, Save As. Now if you remember before, I pointed out the directory of where we was installing. Remember that was in My Computer, Local Disk C, Program Files, and there it is, Unreal 3.2. So we're going to change the file name to what we just copied, which is unrealircd.conf. Now this is important. Where it says save as type, we need to make sure that that says all files, otherwise this will save it as a text document and IRCD won't be able to read it. So now we've done that, we're going to save it, and that's all done. Now purposely I've actually left this, and this is going to have a few errors on it when we try and start it up. I've left this deliberately just to show you how to rectify some errors and where to see where the errors are coming from. So we're going to double click on Unrealircd. Now Unrealircd always actually runs silently in the background, so you don't actually expect anything to appear. So now we're going to go to its directory. So click Start, click on My Computer, Local Disk C, Program Files, and there you'll see your Unreal main directory. Now if we go down, you can see the service log here. Now this is important. Any errors, any bugs or anything like that is going to occur, is going to go here. So we're going to open this up, and immediately you can see we've got several errors. First error is we have a linkhub.mynet.com with SSL option. We're missing ircd.motd.france file, the same for rules. We've got incorrect cloak keys, and we don't have an email address for the K line. We'll just scroll over, you'll be able to see more of that. Okay, so let's fix these errors. So let's minimize this and go back to our Unrealircd config. Now when we try and open this, it's going to tell us that we need to select a program. So click this here, select the program from a list, and click OK. We're going to open this with Notepad. Okay, first of all, let's look on the first error that we had. So the first error was the SSL option enabled on a non-SL compile, and the link hub was mynet.com. So easiest way to find this is select and copy that. Let's go into our Unrealircd directory. Let's find and paste that line in, and find next. Straight away, as you can see, we can see the problem here. This is trying to link as a standard option to another IRC. So what we do is we select all of this and cut it completely out. Now if you see, we're selecting from the first close column to the first open with the link being above. So we're just going to delete that out, and that's fine. So let's have a look at the next problem. Right, the next problem is we're missing two files, so we'll come back to them in a minute. Right, the problem after that is the cloak keys. Now it basically is trying to tell us that that we're missing cloak key 2 and we're missing cloak key 3. More importantly, it's also trying to tell us that these should be mixed up